The NTSB has released their preliminary report on the drone show incident in Orlando, which happened on the 21st of December. So the date now is the 17th of January. So this has been done in less than a month, which of course I think was in their lines to have done. When we will have the official final report, maybe some time, but at least we'll have something to work on. Now, I'm going to go through this report with you because for many of you out there, it probably doesn't make that much sense. And of course, it's quite high level, but I'm going to give you a couple of my opinions on this. There's nothing in here too surprising from my perspective, because in my previous videos, which you can see up here, I pretty much predicted most of this. So let's get into it. Hi everyone, Stephen from the Flyby Guys. So we are going to have a look at this report. So I'll leave a link to this report in the description below, so please feel free to have a look at that at your own discretion. But we're going to go through this together. So let's have a look. So you can see here that it says here that this is an aviation investigation preliminary report. And I'm going to go right down to the bottom first because there is something I want you to see, and that is that this is a Class 3 investigation. Now, Class 3 investigation means it's not that serious. So there's 4 investigation levels. 1, which is very serious, the most serious. 2, it's serious. 3, it is investigation. And then 4, which is the lowest. So it's kind of in the middle here as well. So just to give you an idea of the investigation class that this actually has. So let's have a look at this. Now I'm going to go straight to the point where it's right here. So let's focus on this part first here. So it says initially about 5 aircraft were not accepting the launch data. Standard troubleshooting of the Wi-Fi access points was implemented and all 500 aircraft were located on the network about 5 minutes before showtime. A soft reboot of the entire fleet was conducted to bring all the aircraft to show-ready mode. After the reboot, all systems showed green except for the systems on 2 aircraft which were removed from the show, basically out from the fleet, and then you put other ones in. The operational aircraft were then armed and the countdown sequence initiated. At liftoff, it was noted that the aircraft layers did not lift uniformly. Further investigation revealed that the launch parameter files that contained the final flight paths had not been sent, and that the show center was not completely aligned. So let's unpack that one. So it says there that 5 minutes before they had to do a soft reboot. Why did that have to be done 5 minutes before? Now, okay, not really that why was it done 5 minutes before, but 5 minutes before to do a soft reboot, and if you're losing drones, you need to delay the show. It's as simple as that. You have to delay the show because you're putting... And this is where I think that one level of issue that came in here is that there was maybe some pressure on the RPIC, which is the Remote Piloting Command. And pressure, that could come from anywhere. It could come from the client, it could come from, someone else. But that kind of pressure should not be on the PIC. And there I think that the PIC needs to be able to make a decision that either we go now or we don't go, and we'll do a 10-minute delay. Sometimes this does happen. I'm very... in my history, I always like to keep people away from the PIC. Nobody deals with the PIC. If the PIC is on the show, everyone should be away. No one's hanging over the back of the shoulder. No one is near where they can say things. If they want to say something, they will say it to me, and I'll deal with it. But of course, these are things that happen, and of course maybe there's learnings from it. I'm not saying this is what happened here. It sounds like there was pressure. And there was no room for let's see what we can do to delay. Let's continue. So show video confirmed that the aircraft did not lift off in uniform layers, and they illuminated and moved to their first frame of animation. They shifted position and altitude, which resulted in a collision with other aircraft and a loss of control. After the collisions occurred, numerous aircraft could be seen falling from the sky and impacting the ground. One aircraft could be seen streaking towards the audience, and of course that's the one that obviously impacted the 7-year-old boy. Yes, so obviously, this is what happened where you may have seen where drones lift in a certain layer, so you'll have 100 go up and then 200, and they'll all be in a line and stuff, and it looks really good. And the launch part is always an exciting part to watch. It's why did this happen? Now, I've said this in previous videos that I think that this was a calibration issue and that the drones were not calibrated. Now, that could well be the case. For drones not to receive the flight path, those drones should never have taken off. Why did those drones take off if they didn't receive a flight path? That is a question that I would like to ask. If a drone doesn't receive a flight path, it shouldn't launch. It's as simple as that. And you should see that in the control software. So you should know when all the drones get their information. And if they don't get the information, then they're not going to launch. So the fact that some drones had to be taken out, yeah, of course, because they're not going to launch. So why did the other drones take off if they didn't have that flight path? That to me is a strange one. Odd. Okay, so let's go to the next part. After the loss of control event, the RPIC, which is the remote pilot in command, reported that he closely monitored the remaining aircraft through visual observation and telemetry readings from the ground control station. He determined that due to the steps involved in pausing the show, recovering airborne aircraft and the designated flight paths, that the safest course of action for the audience and the aircraft was to let the show proceed. The remaining aircraft completed the show and landed without further incident. I said this in the update video that once the drones did get into position and once they got to the show area and started to perform, that everything looked to be okay. And the pilot did make the right decision not to bring them back, because the drones they have the information to get to a location, do what they do, and then return. Halfway through, or whatever point in the show, if you say come home, they're all going to go from that position, and there you might have a lot of collisions, and there you might see a lot more damage. So the safest thing to do is to keep the drones in the air. If something is really, really bad, you just kill all and all the drones will fall down. If you have incoming aircraft or something, or you see something's about to happen, but you don't do a return to home. Some drones might come home and they'll have their return to home, but not all at the same time, because otherwise you're going to have a mess in the sky. Okay, next. The operator reported that the review of aircraft logs revealed that the show position was rotated by 7 degrees. The 7-degree misalignment resulted in the geo hard fence being too close to the audience. In addition to the fence was set to 5 meters rather than the company's standard of 1 meter. The combined errors resulted in a reduced safety area that was outside of the company's standards. Again, this is what I also said, that there was problems with the geofence. Now, why was the geofence and the show information on the same file? You can rotate, in other systems, you can rotate the show, the geofence stays. That's why it's called hard geofence, because if you have a geofence file, it's hard, and you should not be able to change that. My recommendations here for this system would be to have 2 separate files and not one file with the geofence and the show in the one. 2 files. One for the geofence and then one for the show. That means if the show fails, you still have the geofence. And if you want to load the show, you must have the geofence. And you cannot change the geofence. Right. Please let me know your opinions here. Now, my own opinions here are based on my own experience, because I've been doing these shows for many years. And this is just what I've seen from this report. I'll leave it down there for you. I won't go through the rest of it, because those are just the points that are dealing with what we have been dealing with. and also discussing in the past. So nothing more, but there will be a full report out, and I will be ready to watch that. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And if we have to do another one, we'll do another video. And until then, fly safe.